Hey everybody, welcome to our makeshift Zoom meeting once again. Um, Hopefully we'll find a time next week that we'll be able to meet. But this week, here I am again on video format on YouTube, and it's basically better than nothing, right? Since we just finished week 2, we covered carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates, the difference between the two. And then I had you guys share examples with your group of the differences between the two. And you might think, Jill, why do you have us share examples? Because I believe that the more in it you are, the more you share, the more you communicate with each other, the more it gets solidified in your head. Okay, so to me, that sharing is important. It kind of shows me that you're in it, that you're here to learn and help each other, and you're okay with being wrong, because sometimes it's kind of scary, like, wait, I'm eating watermelon. Is this simple carbohydrate? Is this complex? I'm not quite sure. Ask your group. I'm on all the group chats as well, and I'm there for you as well. But those group challenges are actually important, and they kind of show me that you're in it as well. And you're here, you put the money down, you're putting the effort in, so why not maximize your effort, right? And the reason why you're here and what you're doing. So simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. The differences, if you were to have a pen and a piece of paper and I gave you 5 minutes, could you write them all down, right? Simple carbohydrates are quick energy. So you eat them before a race, before a workout. You eat them when you need a burst of energy. They're fruits and even candies and jellies and things that are just totally quick to hit the system, usually super high to affect the insulin response in your body. And they just affect the system really quick. So anytime you do need that quick energy, they're a great choice. The complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, it's still energy. It's still a form of energy, and it's broken down in the body in the same way. However, there's more chains to these complex carbohydrates, so they're slower to break down. You still get the energy, but they're more sustained. They don't affect your insulin levels as much. So in the event you don't use all the energy, there's a slight less likelihood that it will be converted to fat for storage later. It'll just kind of be a slow, more trickle into the blood system for energy. You won't get those simple carbohydrate crashes that you do when you eat like fruits, sugar, that just boom, shoot your insulin up and then you come back down. So that's why your challenge for the program, and now that you have the knowledge, hopefully for the rest of your life, is to eat 3/4 of your meals each day, or your carbohydrate allotment of complex carbohydrates. They are the best for your system, the best for your digestion, and the best for your energy. Now, when should you use the simple carbohydrates? Like we said, I've given you like 2 hints already. Use them. Don't be afraid of them. And like if you're at a barbecue, yes, eat some watermelon. Don't freak out about it. But just know that simple carbohydrates need to be used up quickly, or they'll most likely get stored. It's basic physiology in the body. Okay. Okay. So I have been thinking, and the message that I wanted to share with you guys this week is, I get asked a lot, Jill, how have you done this for so long? How do you stay motivated? How is it that you don't have huge fluctuations, or when stress or issues come, like it's so easy to fall off, or to not care, or to let other priorities or issues or struggles just take over and absorb all the hard work that you put toward your health and fitness. And what I do is exactly what I teach you guys. We have 8 weeks, and every week we have something that we focus on. And for those of you who have been in the program for a long time, some of you a year and a half, some of you 6 months, you will see that a lot of the basics we repeat, because there's one thing that keeps me and keeps everyone who has a pretty consistent fitness lifestyle together, and that is that they never leave the basics. I wish I had some amazing answer for you. I wish I had some pill that did it. I wish I had some way to make the basics sexy, to make them amazing, to make them seem, like it's so awesome every single time. But honestly, it's the basics. So last week, protein. That is a basic foundation of a healthy lifestyle, making sure you get your protein in. It helps you stay full. It helps you feel satisfied. It helps rebuild your muscle. It helps hormone regulation. It helps everything. So if you can keep that one basic for the rest of your life, you will be heads and tails. That doesn't make any sense. You will be like thousands% above the normal population just by doing that one thing, just by focusing on that one basic. Our second basic that we're learning this week, carbohydrates. For those of you who've been in the program, we've done and talked about simple and complex carbohydrates in all different ways, shapes, and forms. That's my job, is to keep it kind of creative and fun and find different ways. But it's still the basic. Carbohydrates need to be used. And if you are not an endurance runner, if you are not a performance athlete, you just simply don't need as many carbs because you're not using them. And if you don't use carbs, they get stored as energy. It's not that donuts are bad. It's not the Oreo cookies are the worst thing in the world that you could choose to pick to eat. It has nothing to do with that. It just has simply everything to do with energy and physiology. It's not difficult, but if you're not moving a lot, it kind of means that your focus needs to go to veggies if you care about your healthy lifestyle, which I know you do because that's why you're here. Basic number 3. Next week, we're going to be talking about fat. It's basic. The types of fats, how much fat. Some of you have higher fat because it's better for your system. Maybe some of you are insulin sensitive, so your carbs a little bit lower, your fats are a little bit higher. Some of you just feel better with fats. Those are the problems that you and I, and the puzzles that you and I figure out together when you share with me and communicate with me. But regardless of where your fat macro comes in at, it is still super important that you get enough fat in, because fats regulate hormones. They help you sleep better at night. They deal with anxiety and that flight or fight response in your body. They help to calm that down. With fats too low, you're going to feel anxious. With fats too high, you're going to gain a lot of weight, because as you will see in the assignment and as you've known in the past, fat packs a punch. It just does. For 1 gram of fat, it's 9 calories. For 1 gram of carb, it's 4 calories. For 1 gram of protein, it's 4. So out of our 3 macronutrients, fat packs a punch. It adds up quick. So if you go over even 5 grams of fat, 5 times 9 is 45 calories. Okay, so you're over 45 calories of your allotted calories or whatever. So do keep that in mind. Fat is important. Back in the days in the 90s when everything was fat-free and fat-free this and fat-free that, it was like then everything went to carbs. It was high carbs or low fat or whatever it may be. But that perfect sweet spot for you is what we need to find and what we're working on. And that's why I value tracking. Okay, that's why I think it's important, just because it's a way to problem solve yourself. I don't believe in tracking for the rest of your life. That's not why we're here. It's not what I want you to do. I don't want you to get totally fixed on tracking. Tracking is a way to hit goals. When we hit goals, then we learn how to deal with life without tracking. And that's the most important part, because that's true lifestyle. Okay. But the basics get you there. Okay. Master the basics. Be pretty dang good at macros. Master the basics. Okay. That's lifestyle. Okay. So for the rest of the program, we'll keep learning the basics. Okay, I want you to think. I'm gonna give you like a little pause for just a second. Think of the other basics that we have talked about in the program. Okay, just think about it. Think of one, because I'm gonna tell you a couple, and I want to see if you can think of at least one of the other basics that we've covered. Okay, there's 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, you got one? Okay, what about stress? Stress we focused on last session, and we hit it pretty hardcore. Healthy stresses, non-healthy stresses. What does stress do to losing weight? Makes it near impossible, because cortisol shoots up and your body hangs on for dear life, because it's feeling compromised. It's feeling like there's an issue, like there's a reason to hang on to calories because of preservation. It starts fighting. So Stress is a big deal. In the basic lifestyle, in the basic habits of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, we need to get our stress in check, okay? Sleep, we've talked about sleep in the past. Meal prepping, working out 30 minutes minimum every day. Okay, these are the basics that we go over in the program, and these are the basics that we'll continue to learn about. But the key to what I initially brought up, the key to Jill, how is it that you stay motivated? Jill, how is it that, you're still in fitness after 23 years? How is it that you care? How is it that you even want to teach people? It's because I live the basics. It's funny, sometimes I'm at the grocery store and like I'll run into clients or I'll run into past clients or whatever, and I like all of a sudden I feel like inward, like I'm like, okay, they're gonna look in my cart and they're gonna be like, okay, does she have her complex carbohydrates in there? And you know what? I better always have them in there, because I hold myself to a pretty high standard, because I feel like I need to, because I teach people. The basics of what I teach is something that I will keep forever and that I will continue to do for the rest of my life, because I believe in it so strongly, and I know it can change lives because I've seen it. I've been lucky enough to have been doing this program now for a year and a half, and there's been big time numbers lost. We've figured out physiological things with people that we never would have figured out unless we hit some of these sugar challenges, unless we focused on sleep, unless we focused on stress. Like, I know that these simple, basic things that you probably already know or have heard will change your life if you just keep working on them. Okay, so let's go to the last thing I want to talk about, and that's like, okay, Jill, the basics. Yes, the basics. I know protein and carbs and fats and blah blah blah, but I kind of get burned out about it. I kind of get bored, and I feel like I lose my motivation to want to hit my protein, or even care about hitting this huge number of protein, or I just get burnt out. And the only thing that I can tell you about getting burnt out means that there's a misalignment somewhere, okay? I don't know if you're burnt out with the basics. I think you might be burnt out in some of your goals. Like, you're tired of wanting to lose 10 pounds because it takes so much effort, and it's summertime and you have 3 vacations coming up, and maybe there's some misalignment with the stage of life that you're in, the current chapter you're in, or maybe the next month that you're in. So the thing that I need you to realize about the program is directed for you to achieve your goals, no matter what that is. Have you mastered the basics? I don't know. Maybe that is simply what your goal is right now. Have you lost the 10 pounds that what you set for your goal? Maybe that's why you're here, and you are full bore, you're tracking like a pro, and you are in it because your goals are in line, okay? But if you've been here for a while, just like anything, there tends to you get burnt out, right? So if that's the case, I want you to really take a dive into your goals and make sure that the work that you're willing to put in is in line with the goal that you have. If you really want to lose that 10 pounds, are you doing the work? Are you being an intentional tracker? Are you focusing on your water? And no matter what, are you committed to your workout every day? Because those basics will never change. I don't care what program you go to. I don't care who your next coach is. I don't care. They're going to have you do the same basic things, okay? The same basics, because there's no changing physiology, just maybe in a slightly different format, okay? But they won't change. So I think most importantly is align yourself with your goals. Make sure that they're still there, okay? If they're not, that's okay. I don't ever want you to feel like, oh my gosh, I just haven't lost my 10 pounds and I can't admit it to Jill. That's not what this is about. This is about you achieving what you want to do. So if you're not saying that to yourself, like, wait, I had this 10-pound goal, but I also have this race that I'm trying to shoot so hard for, and I'm feeling it very hard to feel energy and race and lose weight. Well, there's a misalignment of your goals right here, right? It's really hard to lose weight if you are needing energy to conquer a race. Like, it's kind of a challenge. It can happen. You can still lean up, But as far as being in a big deficit, there's kind of a misalignment of goals right there. So I just want you to consider that. If you simply are just like, I'm okay with where I'm at right now, but I'm not okay with my stress, I'm not okay with my sleep habits, I'm not okay, then guess what? Maybe we're okay with how you're at physically, and I'm okay with that as well. Maybe your goals on your tracker need to be tailored more towards how you're handling your stress as you're going through a hard time, as you have family struggles, as you have real life struggles, as you have job losses or kids struggle, whatever it may be. Listen, the basics bring all of this together to help you create your lifestyle. So it's not just mastery of losing weight or performance, it's actually mastery of lifestyle. And I feel like this is kind of evolved. I feel like I started the program very focused on performance and weight loss, and I feel like the message is just so much broader, and I feel like the message for true health is just so important when we think about the basics and your stress and your sleep and your just daily workout, because sometimes it's all we have to give. Sometimes waking up and going on a 30-minute walk is all we have to give. And sometimes we are signed up for a 100-miler and we are full bore to conquer that goal, right? There's it like ebbs and flows. And I think that's the beauty of life. And that's how it should be. And that's how we avoid burnout. Okay. Can I bring that topic up really fast too? Go back to that burnout. If you're feeling burnout, I have a feeling you're running away from a goal too. Okay. So maybe sit on that thought for a minute and think, I'm feeling burnt out. Have I challenged myself lately? And then if you can say no to that, then I want you to think of a goal that challenges yourself. And that's why I brought in the performance goal in the last couple sessions, because when we challenge ourselves, we're pushing burnout off to the side because we're not focusing on it. We're focusing on a way to progress and to find progression. And I think that's kind of the key. The basics and avoiding burnout, that is our key. So, okay, that's all I have for this week 2 Zoom session. But have a great week. Assignments will drop on Sunday. And if you have any questions or need anything or are struggling with anything, or if you just need a pat on the back or you want to celebrate, I'm your girl. Totally celebrate with you. Okay, you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we will hopefully see each other on Zoom next week. If not, it might just be another recorded YouTube. So keep going, you guys. You're doing awesome.